The Kentucky Speedway in Sparta, Kentucky, home to NASCAR and almost everything else with an engine and four wheels. The Speedway seats over 117,000, but today the seats are empty, despite the fact that today marks the unveiling of a brand new vehicle to North America. It's the Honda Pilot. Now, is Honda upset that the stands are empty? Nope. Now, the end game for Honda is that word will get out and these 100,000 plus NASCAR fans will learn more about Honda. Because as we know, unlike some other car companies, Honda does not race at NASCAR. Now, in reality, this Honda Pilot has been around since 2002, and there's been very little change to it, especially when it comes to design, or lack of it. So this week, let's find out if Honda has thrown away that boxy design and ask the question, does Honda really need the Pilot?
Listen, it's had a great following. We've had a couple of generations from it, and the first one was more like a station wagon. The second one, we got real rugged with it and boxy. And I think now we've probably found the sweet spot with this current generation that's going to appeal both to our existing customers and anybody out there looking for a vehicle in this segment.
This is a Pelican case, hard as a rock on the outside, protecting everything on the inside. And this is a knapsack, as we all know, useful for carrying things. But would you believe these two items were the inspiration for the industry's newest sport utility? And they call it the Pilot. The resulting design, a box. Someone described it as a brick. Well, finally, with its third generation, Honda has obviously brought in a designer, thrown away the box, and that original inspiration.
Well, I think one of the big things, Brad, as you know, with Honda, a lot of our work comes from what we call the voice of the customer. And when we went out and talked to our customers, they said, look, the capabilities of the current Pilot are great, but we're looking for something a little more stylish, something a little more premium, something that more reflects our lifestyle and our needs. It's the appearance, it's the look, it's the style, and I think we've nailed it right on this time.
This is our mid-size light truck platform. It started off as a unibody. We continue with the unibody, but this is the third generation. It's our new Earth Dreams powertrain. The heart of it is the 3.5-liter V6 direct injected IV Tech VCM, which is variable cylinder management. It runs in 6-cylinder mode or 3-cylinder mode when you want better fuel efficiency. It's paired up with two new transmissions, a 6-speed automatic, and on the upper trims, a 9-speed automatic. We have a new intelligent traction management system. It's a fantastic new thing that adjusts your drive-by-wire setting, which is your response to the accelerator pedal, your transmission settings, your traction control settings. All of this manages that to give you the best possible performance in snow, sand, mud, all conditions.
As I mentioned, Honda Canada has not been happy with sales in the first 4 or 5 months of 2015, and that includes the underperforming Pilot. Now, they sell about 6,000 of these vehicles every year, but in Canada, that segment consists of about 130,000 vehicles. So it begs the question, is the Pilot worth the effort?
It is worth the effort, and I'll tell you, it's not just the sales number. Families buy Odysseys when they have young kids. You need the sliding door because you got to put them into a child seat. But as they get a little older and become a little more self-sufficient, not everybody wants to drive a minivan. And this vehicle fits that slot perfectly.
Really like the interior in this new Pilot, a step up from the previous generation, and they have my favorite option, and that is, drum roll please, a heated steering wheel. I love it. Also available, heated and ventilated front seats, and you can also get heated seats in the second row. A pet peeve, you've heard me say this before, they have this gear selector only in the 9-speed automatic. I don't like it. It's not intuitive, but if you own this vehicle, you'd certainly get used to it. The radio, once again, these finicky, touchy things, I'd like to see them go back to the knobs as Lincoln did. The good news is with the Pilot is you can still operate the radio with the dials and push buttons on the steering wheel. All in all, a nice interior. You can spend a lot of time here.
The definition of a car and a truck, I think, has changed. We used to think of a car as a four-door sedan and a truck a full-size pickup. While we're saying trucks, and the last few months, 65% of what's being sold in Canada is called a truck, but it's really the crossover type vehicles that people want, as I said, that comfort and the ride of a car, but the utility of a truck.
Business has been slow for Honda Canada. As one executive commented, it seems like we're treading water. Yes, Civic is still number one, and with the introduction of the HR-V and now the new Pilot, Honda is convinced life is about to improve. As for the Pilot, again, it now has some styling, combined with a quiet ride, better interior, choice of a 6 and 9-speed automatic, and the list goes on. The bottom line, the Pilot finally has a personality. As we said, Honda only sells about 6,000 Pilots every year in Canada, but it believes if it can get that number up to even around 7,000, then the new Pilot will be a success. Nevertheless, it should attract a new customer and maybe more importantly, get the attention of the competition as Honda attempts to disrupt the status quo. Time will tell.